welcome back. Well, from Disney World to Epcot to Universal, our next guest, our friend, is a theme park pro. She's like a Jedi, and she shares her tips, her tricks, and skips on her beyond hugely successful YouTube channel, the Mammoth Club. Joining us again live from one of our new cities, Orlando, via Zoom, is blogger and influencer and my buddy, Molly McCormick, also known as Molly McAwesome.
Hi, Jason. How are you?
It's good to see you.
You too.
And now that we're in Orlando, it's like, hello, Orlando. Hi, Fox 35. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm so excited.
You've been busy. I want to get to so much stuff. So let's do these in bullet points. Let me start with this. A few weeks back at D23, the big Disney fan club, it was announced that there is going to be an expansion at the Magic Kingdom at Disney World. No specifics, as you know. But Molly, if you're looking into the crystal ball, what do you see for this? What is your guess?
They've mentioned a few things, and the thing that excites me the most is they've mentioned possibly a villains section of the park. So they've also talked about expanding with themes like Coco, but beyond that, they've mentioned villains, and I think that Disney fans want more villains. So I hope that happens, but who knows? It was very vague.
And this would be, didn't they say, Molly, when they do this, this will be on the scale. This won't be a little bitty thing. This will be on the scale of like Star Wars land as terms of acreage, right?
They said it would be the biggest expansion at Magic Kingdom. So let's see it. I want some more new stuff at Magic Kingdom.
Absolutely. Okay, let's move. Okay, Molly, I was so excited you were here because I had never been, let's move over to Universal. I had never been to Universal Halloween Horror Nights until last weekend. I went, Molly, I peed on myself. And Molly, I'm not kidding.
I believe you.
The Last of Us house, I squatted,
so scary.
I squatted like a little gay basset hound, and I just piddled right there. Anyway, what should people know? Because you've been there, you go all the time. If people are watching and they're like, God, should I go? I do like haunted. What should people know about Horror Nights?
You should go. Even if you're scared, you should go. It's absolutely incredible. The scale and the production of this event is unlike anything you'll see. They basically build 10 full movie sets that you walk through. The detail in these houses is, if you can get past being terrified, the detail is incredible in these houses, especially if you're a fan of like Stranger Things. It's one of my favorite shows of all time, or Last of Us, or Chucky. Like, they bring these things to life, and the production quality is unreal. Plus, there's delicious snacks. So after you're scared, you can get a pumpkin beer and a twisted tater, and you'll feel better.
Yeah. And because I was explaining this, because even my husband is like, so how does it work? It's a walkthrough, right? I mean,
Yes.
It's like a conveyor belt kind of, Molly. Isn't that a good way to describe it?
Yeah, you walk through and the monsters come out and they scare you, and there's different effects. If you're able to, I highly recommend getting the express pass, because the lines for the houses, especially the really popular ones, will be 2+ hours. And express is kind of like the fast pass line. It puts you in a shorter queue and it allows you to enjoy your night a little more leisurely. But yeah, you just kind of walk through, and if you're like me, I kind of slowly walk so I'm not too close to the people behind me, because I don't want to know where all the scares are.
Yes.
But, yeah.
That's a good pro tip, everyone, because I didn't do that, and some of the scares were ruined because I was literally mounting the back of a friend. Like, just, if she was a marsupial, I would have been in her pouch. That's how close I was to her.
It's not all kind, though. Part of it was because when I went most recently, Max, who owns the company with me, he was terrified, so I was going slow, so he couldn't see what was going to happen either.
Oh, perfect. I'm with Max. Okay, so Horror Nights is the most popular thing that Universal does. Let's go back to Disney. The Food and Wine Festival is by far the most popular thing that Epcot does. It's going on right now, friends. It's my favorite. Molly, I know it's one of your favorites. What's the highlight this year for you, or highlights?
Ooh, one of my favorite booths is called Flavors from Fire. There I was wiping my sweat stash because it's still 1,000 degrees in Epcot. But yeah, Flavors from Fire is one of my favorite booths. Everything there touches a grill. So they do this awesome meat dish with chips and cheese curds and corned beef. It's fantastic. I also love the Hawaii booth. The pulled pork slider with pineapple chutney is a favorite every year. You can never go wrong in Mexico. They've got a great taco. I also love trying all the different beer flights, and a wine and cheese booth just opened up, which is my love language. So.
And for those who for those that don't speak our language, Molly, can you explain to folks what generally Food and Wine is, what the festival really is?
Oh yeah, there's about 25 plus different booths all over Epcot, and they all sell different tapas-sized eats and drinks. So it's really just a fun way to kind of leisurely work your way around Epcot and try a bunch of different things. Even though the plates are small, I recommend sharing just so you can try as much as possible. And it's just a really fun way to spend a day in Epcot, just eating and drinking your way around the world.
Yeah, it's all of you watching, you're like, oh, Disney's only for kids. This is one of those festivals that's really for us. It's for the grown-ups.
Yes.
Molly has so many great tips for you if you are planning for Christmas, if you're planning for spring break, if you're planning a Disney trip. Head to her YouTube, Mammoth Club, for tips on stuff like when's the best time to go. But after the break, forget the parks. Her hidden gems, because she's right there, her hidden gems in Orlando that have nothing to do with theme parks. What are they? Where should you go? You're going to find out when we come back. Back in a moment. Welcome back. I love her. She's the best. We're back chatting with travel and theme park influencer, everything. She's everything. She's the expert, Molly McAwesome from the great Mammoth Club. Make sure you follow Mammoth Club if you are planning a trip in Orlando. Now, Molly lives in Orlando, and whether you live there or you're traveling there, Molly is going to share some of your favorites in the city that have nothing to do with Mickey, Minnie, Pluto, Donald, or Goofy.
Right.
Okay, number one, tell the folks High Tea made your list. What is High Tea?
High Tea is a new cocktail lounge downtown Orlando, and it's Alice in Wonderland themed. Not the Disney movie, but like the Lewis Carroll classic story. And it is amazingly themed. They have characters there. They have over-the-top, really interesting cocktails. You can the whole family's invited to do afternoon tea, or in the evening time it becomes adults only. They have live music. It is one of the most beautiful cocktail lounges I've ever been to.
Molly, that place is gorgeous.
Yeah, it's stunning. The detail's unbelievable.
Because you know what? I've only been to downtown a few times. Is it a popular destination now in downtown?
Downtown, definitely. It kind of, it was really popular when I was a little bit younger, my 20s, and then, COVID hit, and then now it's back on the rise. And there's a bunch of these really fun themed lounges like High Tea, and the company that owns them owns a couple other really fun themed locations downtown.
Well, let's move on to another one. Number two on Molly's list of non-theme park stuff to do in Orlando, Cocktails and Screams. What is this?
This is another lounge owned by the same company as High Tea, and it's an all-the-time Halloween-themed bar. So if you're like me and spooky season's your favorite time of year, this is an awesome lounge. They do spooky drinks. They even serve drinks out of pumpkin trick-or-treat buckets. And they have themed nights. That was a Harry Potter-themed brunch I went to. It was like a dream.
So all year round, every day,
Halloween.
It's like the Nightmare Before Christmas every day.
Yeah. Yep. Halloween all the time.
Okay. Number three, One Up. What is this?
This is another lounge owned by the same company, and it is a 80s, 90s nostalgia retro bar. So they've got arcade games. Their entire upstairs floor is a Barbie dream house that you can take pictures in. They have the Ninja Turtles pizza truck in the back. Really fun drinks. Yeah, really fun drinks themed after Friends and Golden Girls, and it's so much fun to go in there.
And Molly, you know what I'm going to mean by this question. Sometimes the theme places, they don't have good food, they don't have good cocktails. I would imagine if these are on your list, do all these places, the food is pretty good, right?
Yeah, the food is good. The pizza's good. I love the cocktails at High Tea because they're super unusual and they're beautiful. They come out, one of them's actually served in a teacup, and it comes out in a little teacup that's rose-shaped. There are drinks with peacock feathers coming out of them. They're very, very elaborate, over-the-top drinks.
One more, Escape Ventures. Escape Ventures, yeah. What is this, Molly?
So I love escape rooms. I think they are one of the most fun, immersive things you can do. Max, Allen, and I, we all own Mammoth Club. We love escape rooms, and this is my favorite place in Orlando. They have
Oh,
really uniquely themed rooms, and they are like really immersive. They have one of their team members in there with you sometimes, but not in a scary way, in a really fun way. And they're just a great time. So people often ask, where should I do an escape room? And this is my #1 choice.
okay, really quick, one more. Crooked Can and Plant Street Market.
Yes, so this is in Winter Garden, which is a little bit outside of actual Orlando, but it's a cute market full of a lot of local vendors, especially Crooked Can, which is a brewery. So you're going to see a lot of locals out here trying a bunch of different foods, trying some beer, and it's just a fun local spot to enjoy some food and drinks.
Okay, I'm going to go off script because one of the things that we have mentioned on this show are those Gideon's cookies. And I know
Yes.
this is a locals trip because these cookies, audience, people wait, tourists wait. What is it, Molly? 2-3 hours for these darn things? There's a trick,
Yeah.
right? You don't if you don't go to Disney Springs to get them, right, Molly? Go someplace else. There's a local place.
Yeah, the original Gideon's is in the East End Market, which is a little bit past downtown if you're coming from Disney, and you can actually order them online and just pick them up. It's the day before you want to go, you just order them and pick them up as opposed to waiting in a long virtual queue at Disney Springs.
Yeah, because can you imagine, waiting for rides is one thing. I ain't waiting for 3 hours for cookies. I ain't doing
They're
it.
really good cookies.
They are
but
though, Molly. You're right. I do love Gideon's, but
Yeah.
my husband's like, I ain't waiting for 3 hours. No.
I know. Whenever I see the new seasonal one, I'm like, oh, I really want to eat that, but virtual queue and a whole thing.
Absolutely. So good to see you again. Thank you, Molly.
Thank you for having me.
The great Molly McAwesome. Search for Molly_McAwesome. And like I said, check out her YouTube channel. It's called The Mammoth Club. And if you're planning a trip to any theme park, go. She gives you money-saving advice and more. I love her. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with a game with the audience when we return. I love her.